Welcome in to the Casual Gaming Conversation. I'm Connor. That's Nick. This is your weekly gaming podcast from Ep.84. This week we're talking about video game series that need to make a comeback. But before we get into that, Nick, how are we doing?
Doing well. Masters weekend. What a magical weekend, Connor. A tradition like no other.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got The Last of Us Season 2 premiering tonight, which will be a bunch of fun. I'm curious to see how this episode goes.
Yes.
And I'm excited to go and watch this one. With all that being said, it's just been a nice, relaxing weekend of watching way too much golf. I think that all things considered, I watched roughly 20-something hours of golf. And we haven't even had Sunday yet for the Masters yet, Connor. It's so good. It's so peaceful to have on in the background. I was driving home yesterday. I just had Masters radio going, playing through the car. And it's just, the birds are chirping, Connor. We're at Augusta, basically. It feels like you're there. It's a great time. And yeah, no, so not a lot of games for me this weekend. I was up in Purdue on Friday. Yesterday, I just bummed on the couch for most of the day, just watching golf. And then went out for like an hour to go and hang out with Brady. And I was like, I just need to go to bed. It's been a long weekend. I need to get ready for a fun content day. And we also got an extra hour of sleep tonight. Normally we start up at 8 a.m. We started at 9 today. That makes me feel a lot happier, honestly. Just feeling better going into the full day. I'm looking forward to today. Connor, how you doing?
Doing good. Very productive weekend of playing video games. Platinumed Sly Cooper, the Big 5-0, number 50. Only took 15 plus years to get there, but we're here. We've arrived. And beat Split Fiction last night. It was great. It's a great video game.
I'm excited to talk about it with you tomorrow. We're doing a Split Fiction and South of Midnight spoiler cast.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to really dig into that. I do think you might have overhyped the ending a little bit. Just a little bit. It's a great ending. It's pretty cool.
I've watched maybe 15 people play that ending at this point, and I still don't think it's overhyped.
Okay, I mean,
I think it's one of the best moments in gaming this year. It will be one of the best moments in gaming this year.
It was pretty neat.
Yeah,
and that's how I feel about it.
We'll get into it tomorrow. That's gonna be awesome.
So yeah, look forward to that. But just hopping right into the housekeeping, this show is supported and made possible by our lovely supporters over on Patreon, where we have exclusive bonus episodes of this show, the Casual Gaming Conversation, where we do spoiler casts and other types of discussions. PS3 retrospective, making our PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale.
Oh, you went all the way
roster.
all the way to the
first one.
First one.
Predicting the rest of the Xbox, rest of the PS5 generation.
Where did I say Marathon's coming out?
We both said September.
We both said September.
We did not say a date, though.
Holy shit, though! Come on.
We gave dates for the Xbox one, but we didn't say dates for the PlayStation 1. We gave months.
Yeah, so we both said September.
I was hoping that
which is awesome.
Because we gave a specific day for the Xbox ones, like September 23rd or something, which is I think is when Marathon comes out. I think that's the date, why that day just popped into my head. But I wish we had said the specific day so we could have possibly nailed it, because I was like, did I say this exactly?
I feel like saying September is nailing it.
Yeah,
like
that's
that
pretty
is
impressive.
Pretty damn impressive. And honestly, marketing cycle too. I think that they're gonna have a good lead in of summer of betas and stuff like that to go and let people play that game.
How are you feeling about the reveal yesterday?
I think it looks really good.
I think it looks really good too.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a great way to show it off. I think they could have just done like a couple trailers, or like maybe like an extended gameplay sequence. But having like the developer like roundtable right after the gameplay, as I understand
and
it,
before it.
Oh, really?
Well, they did like an intro to all of it. They introduced the panel, and then they hopped into it, and then it just kept going. It was really funny. I went and that's when I turned off Masters Radio, and I just tuned in for like just listening to it because I'm driving, and I was like, oh, this seems cool. And then I finally was able to stop at a Taco Bell, pulled up the gameplay, saw that it was sick, nasty, and then moved on.
It's like a show not tell situation. Just let me see the game. I mean, like if I need to be sold on it by playing it, I think, personally, and having you talk to me about it like isn't selling me any further than I already am. I think looking at it, I'm like, that looks interesting, but as somebody who has not played an extraction shooter but does have a history with Bungie with Halo and Destiny, I'm like, I'm interested, I'm in. So we'll see how it ends up turning out. But the price is the biggest factor here, I think.
It's a $40 or $50 game.
They say premium cost, which could be up to $70.
They said, I'm pretty sure they said not 70.
Okay.
I think I saw that Warrior64 tweet saying it's not 70. I think it's $40 or $50. When you're saying a premium cost for a game like this, it is a not free to play game.
I think that will kill it.
If it's $40 or $50.
Yeah. Honestly. I mean,
Destiny's cost money.
Yeah, but that has like single player aspects to it and is like a more straightforward like campaign finished beginning to
I know,
end
but that's why that's a $7
If you're
game.
in a space with Apex Legends and Fortnite and all of these, I don't think you're shelling out $40 to play Marathon especially when you have to convince two other people to play it with you.
I think people
it's like,
will.
hey, shell out $40 for this game that we may or may not play past 2 weeks.
It's Bungie. That's my.
I think I think it looks cool, and I'm gonna play it and try it for sure. But I'm talking about like how long this could possibly go. I do not know how this is gonna pan out for Bungie.
I think that it's going to pan out well. To go and be like it's going to recapture the success that we saw with Destiny is foolhardy, because that's just like a forever game that people have been playing for a decade at this point.
Do you think that they're not going into this hoping that that's what they're looking for? It's their first
I think that they're
foray.
looking for it to go and potentially be that, but I think that they're mainly trying to capture Helldivers' success level. If it's a $40 title, then they're just trying to go and make something cool. Like, it's not, this is, the price point, if it is not $70, which I'm pretty sure I've read that's not, once again, this is casual gaming news at this point. Get in the comments, let us know if I'm wrong about that. If it's not $70, then you should not.
It's going to be $70.
Exactly. Then you should not expect a full priced experience, a $70 experience. And if it's a $50 experience, then like Elden Ring Night Rain is $50, right?
Yeah.
So like I'm expecting 20 hours, 25 hours of fun defeating Souls bosses, going through that experience. When I pick up Marathon for $40, $50, I'm expecting $40 or $50 worth of fun. I'm expecting a few weekends of fun with my friends. I'm not expecting this to be an all-in game forever. What?
As far as I can tell, Escape from Tarkov is $35.
Yeah, that's that arena, $40, $50, and I think that you'll capture some level of success, especially this year. Just looking at the landscape right now, I think that this game has a really good shot to have a moment in the multiplayer space where Call of Duty, you assume, is October, November-ish. It's probably October. This will come out before then, so you're beating out your biggest competitor when it comes to these all-in multiplayer experience that everybody's hopping into. And then there's nothing really else that's on the horizon when it comes to an experience like this. You aren't dealing with even last year Ubisoft's game XDefiant, or I'm trying to just think of any other ones. But the main competition point is your Fortnite and Apex. You're not pulling Fortnite and Apex players off Fortnite and Apex anyways.
I think you could. I think you can try for that, for at least have a zeitgeist moment. You're telling me people who
I'm saying
who played Fortnite didn't go play like Helldivers 2?
I'm saying for this long period of time. Helldivers 2 is the example of like what is the apex of a $40 game can capture, in my opinion. It is Helldivers 2.
Yeah, they're just so different. Where Helldivers is so inviting, in my opinion. Like, you can just hop in and just shoot some bugs with friends for...
What if this is just hop in a cool art style and fucking arena shoot for a minute? And
it's not... That's like saying Tarkov is hopping. Like, Tarkov is like so deep and complicated, and I do not suspect this is going to be that like the whole purpose of Tarkov, as I understand it from hearing from other people, is like you're learning aspects of this game and like really becoming familiar with it, and like learning the ins and outs is a lot of the fun. And I think that Marathon is going to try for that, but somewhere like in the middle where they're like inviting, but also like there's depth here and you're trying to learn stuff based off of what we saw yesterday, that I do not think that you're just like capturing like this broad audience. So when you're charging $40, it's like it's going to be a hard sell to like be like, okay, like I'm into this, I'm really excited about it, now let me try to convince my two friends that like, hey, we need to learn this game, and like, are you on board for tutorials? You know what I mean?
That's my thing was Helldivers was so no one knew about Helldivers. No one, exactly, but no one fucking had any idea. At least this has the staying point of Bungie.
That's the only reason I have any faith in it. Is because it's Bungie. Otherwise, if this was just another studio, then I don't know if I would.
That art style is so fucking good that I think it would be on the map no matter what.
We think it's good.
I think a lot of people think it's good.
I think yesterday a lot of people were talking about like it looks not great.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's very unique and distinct.
Yeah. It's my flavor, I guess. I love it. I think that it's awesome. Ben Starr on the VO. Come on, you can't beat that.
Yeah.
No, I think that this is going to be a moderate to large success. But when you're talking about a $40 game, I feel like the goal is to get moderate to large success. Like, this is not going to be the game that I'm not expecting goatees. I'm expecting this to most likely come out and potentially win at a best case scenario, best multiplayer game this year at Game Awards.
I think that if you want this to be a large success, which I think it could be, I think free to play is the smart move. They're already talking about battle passes and seasons and everything. They have ways to monetize it, and you have such a distinct art style that I think that there's interesting aspects that you could throw into that battle pass, into those seasons, different runners, I think is the name of the characters, where you can monetize this game in a not like really intrusive way to allow for an audience to just get in on the ground floor, get new players in by just being like, hey, let's pick it up and try it. And then like go for seasons after that and monetize through the battle pass and different characters and skins and stuff. I think that's the right move. Personally, I understand like it's AAA, it's Bungie, it's Sony first party. You charge a premium for those extra development costs or whatever, but like I think that's a bad move for a multiplayer game in 2025.
With
personally.
Extraction shooters, you need to charge up front.
Why?
You need to charge up front because nobody's like we're talking about this like automatically because it's an extraction shooter and you're not going to get us in to an extraction shooter most likely in the way that a free to play, hey, hop in Apex type environment where it is just nonstop going in doing that extra run. Longevity wise, when we're talking about like the fall off what this game is, I think at this point, would you say that Helldivers should have been free to play?
No, because I think that it offers an easier entry for just picking up and playing it.
So $40 is the easier entry point there?
Co-op horde shooter, essentially. I know it is an extraction shooter in some way in which you're extracting, but like it's less about, you're not fighting PvP. This is a PvP game with elements of like shooting, like
exactly
shooting NPC
environments.
Yeah. So like
I know what I'm saying is I think that extraction shooter, it makes sense to put a price tag on this. I think my whole thing of Concord and where I stand with, or even fair games and where that's going to end up is right now you cannot do a free to play PvP game, 5v5 game, a multiplayer game. You can't do it because there is your Warzone, Apex, other things to play. The market is, there's not really a massive free to play version of this that everyone's on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So go and charge your $40. It's fine to do so.
But you just gave the solution for them. There is not a massive extraction shooter that is free to play. So you be the free to play extraction shooter and get the audience.
Or you can be the $40 one and also get the audience because you're Bungie.
Yeah,
because I promise you, if Marathon came out, it's the classic example, like get your money in early or get it later. And also it's like Bungie's formula has always been get the money in early and do expansions and get even more money down the line. I think that they're just run that same playbook in a smaller scale with Marathon.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out.
It's gonna be fun.
I'm kind of bummed that people just write stuff off of like the first trailer of like, this game's gonna fail, this game sucks, this game is terrible. It's like, if you don't want to play an extraction shooter and like you think this looks like not your cup of tea, then just be like, I'm not gonna play it. Like, why would you hope that this is gonna totally flop?
I have no idea.
It's weird. Like, I think it looks fun.
Yeah.
So
I'm stoked.
we're definitely. I want to. The thing is I need to play it.
Yeah.
To know if it's even something I'm interested in. Because so I really want to get into that alpha and just get my hands on the sticks, or I'm gonna play it on mouse and keyboard. But
I'll say this much: I'm gonna try to do whatever I can on our end to get us into this alpha, just so we can do a stream or something and get through it.
I tried to sign up and just it's not.
It's tough. So I'm going to go down whatever channel I can to try to figure that out, because getting hands on with this one is like, I completely agree. It's gonna, if this game plays amazingly, which it looks like it does, and I think that it will.
I think even the people who say that they don't like other aspects of the game, like skill up and GameSpot and everything, everyone says the shooting feels perfect.
And so if this game is fun and it works, I think that a $40 price tag makes sense. I'm stoked for it. I can't, like, last year I played 25 hours of Concord. Let's be real. Okay, like, I like putting times into these multiplayer games and having a good time and throwing a podcast on in the background and just sort of like zoning in. And like, with that art style and the way that the game seems like it plays, come on, I'm sold. I'm looking forward to it. I need to add it to our calendar right now. It comes out the same day as something else, right?
I have no idea.
September 23rd is the same day as Borderlands.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's pretty funny. What are you playing day one?
I mean, Marathon's so easy to just be like, okay, like I'll give this a go. Borderlands is a commitment. None of us are really Borderlands people.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a poser and be like, okay, 4, and now I'm going to get really into Borderlands. But I might. I might try it. It really depends on timing of like when everything else is coming out.
Around it right now is Directive 8020 a week later. Before it is Hell Is Us, Shinobi Art of Vengeance, and Snake Eater about like 3 weeks earlier.
Hell Is Us is the week before?
3 weeks earlier.
Oh, okay.
A week after is Directive 820. Okay. Everything else that I just said is 3 weeks before.
Yeah, as long as I'm done with of those. Shit, Hell Is Us is the same week as Snake Eater?
It's a week after.
Fuck, man. I mean, hopefully you can finish Snake Eater in a week, and I want to play Hell Is Us. I think that game looks really interesting and weird. It could be. It's one of those that like, could be excellent. Could be like one of the games of all time.
I'm going to throw it out there. This game, I once again, I hope it does well. I hope I'm shocked and amazed. I doubt it. I very much doubt that like this is going to capture me in a way that my ceiling of what I expect this to be is great.
I think that the idea of the core of the game being based on Elden Ring's exploration of just like finding shit and the story being like not being spoon fed to you and you just kind of discover stuff. I think that sounds really cool.
I like that in Elden Ring because everything else around it is fucking awesome, and I can just completely put that to the wayside when it comes to the gameplay loop and cool bosses and stuff like that. When they're like, and then the story that they tell on the side that is there if you want it is like fucking excellent. To go and be like, okay, this side story, you need to fucking show up and tell an amazing side story that you're not spoon feeding to me. So now I need to go and search something out that is not necessarily something that I'm immediately intrigued by, unless it's really intriguing and I get super into it. What's that gameplay loop going to be that I'm okay with not having the story soft serve to me? Wherein like, so what's that going to be on the gameplay side of things? It is interesting. Like I said, hope it's great. I will play it most likely. Actually, I will probably be playing Snake Eater and enjoying that. Well, that's released and everything. But yeah, I can't wait. When are you gonna? You're starting to get up against the clock. You got 4 months in between now and Snake Eater.
I gotta play on Vita.
Connor, I swear to God, this is not a threat that does not hold water. If you say to me, Nick, I played Snake Eater on Vita, I will take your Vita and I will chuck it into a body of water and it will drown very painfully. I'm going to make sure you do not play that game on Vita. Connor, I swear to God.
What's wrong with that?
Because this is one of those experiences that you talk about all the time. You talk about all the time. You say, Nick, you never give me recommendations of things that I'm actually going to like. And I'm like, okay, Connor, okay, I'm going to hold back off on recommendations on things that I know you might not be a big fan of.
You're not recommending Metal Gear Solid 3 to me.
I'm not.
Everybody's recommending Metal Gear Solid 3.
Everyone is. Exactly. So go and play it the way that it deserves to be played.
On a CRT television on the PlayStation 2.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, go.
Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence.
Yeah, that's what Big Mac said, apparently.
The better version.
The better version.
Yeah.
And enjoy it. And I would recommend playing it sooner than later because the idea of doing back-to-backs terrify me. I need to be Ghost.
Dude.
I need to be Ghost so I can then get ready for Yote.
I can't believe how little time we have now, like with video games, which is such a good problem to have.
This year, let's take a little bit of a look back. This podcast is off the fucking rails, and I love it. Yeah. Taking a look back to last year, we had oh my gosh, I didn't highlight things last year. Holy shit, that's funny. We had early on in the year games like Prince of Persia, Tekken 8, Pacific Drive, Rise of the Ronin, Rebirth. That was all within that first quarter. Then after that, it was like Stellar Blade was April. Hellblade was May.
Hellblade was 5 hours.
And 5 hours. Erdtree for me was June.
I was out.
Yeah, you were out on that one. July was college football for me.
Out.
Yeah, like, and then we like spiced it back up when we started getting into the later half of the year. Wukong, Concord, Star Wars Outlaws, Astrobot, Space Marine, Plucky Squire, Echoes of Wisdom. And then October, if you remember, was fucked last year. Silent Hill 2, Metaphor, Neva, Mario Party Jamboree, BO6. Excuse me, closing out the month with Dragon Age the Veilguard. And then it was like a all right or November. We didn't play a lot of games in November. We were just getting ready for the next year. But that was like Soccer 2, Lego Horizon, Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake, and then Marvel Rivals Indiana Jones came out at the end of the year. That was the year. And like I said, it's stacked at the front with things like Rebirth, Helldivers, and Tekken, and a lot of great games. But like, that was the year. This year, it feels like every fucking 2 weeks there's another game coming out.
Paced perfectly.
Yeah.
Where like last year it kind of felt like maybe I'll play this instead of this. And this year it's like, well, there's only one thing to really be reviewing right now. So I got to play that or whatever. And that seems to go for the rest of the year too.
Last year, Connor, so April was Stellar Blade for you, and then you had Hellblade in May. And then June and July, you didn't, I think, put up a review on the channel, mainly because there just wasn't a game.
August was Black Myth, but at the end of the month.
Yeah, Black Myth at the end of the month. And yeah, that was something.
So that was between Stellar Blade. Well, I don't even count Hellblade because it was such a quick, like, in and out experience or whatever. Where between Stellar Blade and Black Myth, 3 months I wasn't reviewing it.
Yeah, you were playing.
So I was playing stuff like Jack and Daxter for like no reason.
200 hours of FF7 Rebirth.
Was that last summer?
Yeah, it was like
it was.
Including April and summertime. Yeah. But yeah, now there's
gaming right
but
there.
now it's nonstop. I feel like we're playing games for review every single moment of everything. The moment that a game finishes up, we're on to the next one. It's just nonstop. And then looking later in the year, it just like doesn't stop. Where so by the way, housekeeping, Mario Kart World Direct, I will be reacting to it. Shout out, it's gonna be a lot of fun. But the games just don't stop. It's Mario Kart, and then it is Death Stranding, and then it's Tony Hawk, and then Donkey Kong Bonanza, and like this is just like barely starting again in summer. Night Rain a week before Mario Kart. Before that is Doom. Like
Doom. Yeah.
It just every 2 weeks there's something fun and exciting to play.
Doom is the 25th.
Doom is 15th.
15th. Okay, so we have 15 days between Night Rain and that and Lost Soul Side.
Yeah. Which also, can we? I know that that's one that like Lost Soul Side. Part of me hopes that we get codes for that one and we're able to hop into that one early. Because if both these games are just day one for me, Night Rain or Lost Soul Side, I will never play Lost Soul Side unless it's just tens across the board. Like, and I'm excited for that game. That game looks cool. But when I have Night Rain to play, Connor, by the way, that Monday, I need to put it on the calendar officially. That Monday is Night Rain Monday for that Patreon goal.
Sweet.
But yeah.
Speaking of Patreon, which is where we started on this,
we're 22 minutes into this podcast.
Patreon bonus episode of the Casual Gaming Conversation. You get this show and the Casual Gaming News Conversation 3 days early at that lowest tier. At the next tier up, you get the Ep.84 podcast, a conversational podcast with me, Nick, and Brady, where we bring topics and you can submit a topic for the show if you'd like. If you're at that highest tier, you also have Recollecting Retro, a retro collecting show, and bonus TikToks 2 every other week. We just posted a Tapple and emojis, so enjoy that if you're at that $10 tier. And then at the highest tier, like I said, submit your topics for the Ep.84 podcast and you get your name read at the end of each and every podcast. Twitch, we are continuing on with Nuzlocke on Monday. One more of those until we take a little break for that. Nick is finishing out Halo 2 Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm playing Resident Evil 1, one of the greatest games of all time, for the first time. Just absolutely adoring it, so come watch that on Wednesdays. But most importantly, after this week, we are starting a marathon. And by we, I mean Nick, playing Persona 5 Royal Monday. Do you have a start time?
9 a.m.
9 a.m.
April 21st.
April 21st till Friday, 3 p.m.
I said 1 p.m.
1 p.m. For 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, playing Persona 5 Royal, 5 days straight, sleeping on stream. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then 2 days off to shoot the TikTok content, shoot the podcast and everything.
Yep.
And then we will be back, and by we, I mean Nick will be back for 5 days again, finishing out the game. Will Brady and I appear on any of these? Potentially.
Yeah.
We don't have a fast plan on that.
We'll talk a little bit more about that, I assume, next Sunday and stuff like that. I do want to clarify something. The reason that we're taking that time off is there are people that just do not watch the streams. So if we were to like shut down what Co-op 64 is for a full weekend, like just for streaming sake, it would not make sense for us at all. We got to make sure we're doing everything. Got to make sure that Connor and Brady maintain their schedule. It's going to be a lot of fun, though, for the 10 days of streaming in the span of 12 days. It's going to be a blast.
Yeah, we thought about shooting like the podcast and everything on Twitch, just so you can, we can just not go down at all over the weekend, but we have to shoot like recollecting and like go out and do that. So that kind of threw a wrench in the whole plan. So that's why we're taking the 2 days in between. Alrighty. What else do we have here? We have merch over on co-op64store.com. If you want t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, we have those over there. Discord, we have an amazing community of over 2,500 community members hanging out, talking, playing video games together, making friends. So if you want to join up there, there's a link in the bio for that as well. Go review us on Apple Podcast services. It gets the show out to more people, and we would really appreciate that. All right, hopping into hot takes. My gaming hot take for this week is that Dead Space 1 is better than every Resident Evil game other than Resident Evil 4 original. But I say this because I feel like Resident Evil is the king of survival horror. That is the franchise people point to as the apex. And I think that Dead Space 1 sits comfortably alongside and oftentimes, more often than not, above the Resident Evil franchise. And you can even say this about 2. Dead Space 2 is an excellent follow-up and sits well against any of the Resident Evil games. I think people need to put more respect on Dead Space as a franchise alongside the best of the best of survival horror. I know that Dead Space is well beloved. Don't get me wrong. People love Dead Space. But I'm saying it's top 3, easily, all-time survival horror. Up there with Silent Hill 2, Resident Evil 4, Dead Space. Those are the big 3.
I don't like this take. Not because I don't love Dead Space. Dead Space is a great video game. I have some old Twitch clips of me playing it for the first time, and I was spooked as hell. I think that the plasma cutter is one of the best weapons in gaming. With that being said, it's not better than RE7. It's not better than RE2 Remake.
What?
It's not.
No way.
RE7 is this terrifying, beautiful experience that I'm on the edge of my seat the entire time. Level design, puzzles, it just all works so well. RE2 Remake, the puzzles, the layout of the PlayStation is so fucking good. And then RE4 is RE4. You've already mentioned that.
Yeah.
So I'm not too upset with it. I get it. They're all like Dead Space 1 to RE2 Remake to RE7. They're all in that 859 area. They're just all hanging out together for me. But I don't think that's leaps and bounds better. I think if Mr. Silent Hill 2 hater, I think Silent Hill 2 is a better game than Dead Space Remake by a country mile.
They are like right on top of each other.
I just disagree. But no, I don't hate the take because we're all working within a single point, but I hate the take because it's like I have not just one game over it in the Resident Evil franchise. I have 3 total over Dead Space 1. So
yeah, I'm talking like some of the best weapons in gaming history.
The plasma cutter and lining up those shots on the necromorphs, that's what they're called. And like because they're these wide boys with the arms and like taking the arms out one by one. I don't like platinums. But the fact that there's a trophy to play that game with only the plasma cutter sounds like a really damn good time. Like, no joke, that sounds like a really fun challenge run-esque thing. And I'm not saying I will ever platinum that game. I don't even want to.
It's
but maybe
really hard to platinum.
But maybe I'll go back and just do exactly that.
4 playthroughs to platinum it.
Yeah, fuck that. I'm never platinuming
maybe you could do it in 3. Whenever I talk about multiple playthroughs for platinums, I always just play it once on normal in the beginning. And so when I say that I want a second playthrough, it's because like I don't want it to just be play on normal, do everything 100%, and then finish the game out or whatever. I want a reason to go play it again. And doing the plasma cutter thing, there's a trophy for no death run, but you can play it on easy, I think. So
still, dude,
the thing is, you could like accidentally just like float into like one of the fans or whatever and just die. And it's like 7 hours in, you're like, oh fuck.
But that's a wild platinum. But also, once again, cool trophy.
Yeah, back to the guns though, like that one gun that I don't know any of the names of the guns in this game. I just know what they do. There's like the saw one where you can like bank the saws like off the wall. It's super cool. But the one that sticks out to me is like, especially in the remake, where it's like a pulse or whatever, like a shotgun pulse, and it like just rips the necromorph's like skin off, and if you just shoot it like a few times, you just become like a skeleton. Basically, it's so fucking badass. Yeah, it's so cool.
The weapon kit in the game is awesome. The Ishimura is rad. Necromorphs is cool. I'm fine with all these. It's just you're telling me that this game is better than the atmosphere of Silent Hill 2. The
atmosphere of the Ishimura is on the same level as the atmosphere of Silent Hill 2.
No.
Yes.
I disagree, because here's the thing. I'm a baby when it comes to horror games. I got through Dead Space after an hour of being afraid. I eased into that experience. Silent Hill 2's tension held me by the throat in a way that I never want to experience ever again in my entire life for 17 hours.
Different things, in my opinion. Is Resident Evil 4 scary? But does it have an amazing atmosphere? You know what I mean? Scary doesn't and atmosphere are not the same.
Yeah, I understand, but I would say that it doesn't have as good of an atmosphere as the Ishimura or
does it
Silent
not have as good of an atmosphere because it's not as scary?
No, I think that there's just some blandness when it comes to I feel like that game is very brown tinted and and like it's.
You can say that about Silent Hill as well with the rust everywhere.
That's true. That's a good point. But I don't know. There's something with even art direction that I would say it doesn't give it the credit that is on the same level as a Dead Space or Silent Hill 2.
All the art direction I need to show you is the fucking suit that Isaac wears.
That's
what a fucking
great
dripped out suit, dude. And also the health bar being on the back or whatever on the spine is one of my favorite UI choices in any video game. Maybe the best UI choice in any video game ever. It's so good.
That's a draft we should do sometime. Being game mechanic draft, and they just have that be one of the. Oh my god, it's perfect.
It's good stuff. Nick, what is your hot take?
My hot take this week is no video game type is oversaturated. We don't have too many open world games. We don't have too many roguelikes. We don't have too many of any given one of these options, one of these genres. It is all up to you to play a bunch of different stuff. We are just getting a buffet of different types of games. And there are very unique types of games that come out every single year, like a blueprint. But you go and be there's only these roguelikes. There's only these crafting games. We don't need another one of those. We don't need another battle royale. It's no, we want a bunch of different types of games so we can explore all this stuff and decide which ones are the cream of the crop, are the best of the best, and go from there. But we are just going and writing off cool games because, it's just another open world game. Sure, I'm not the biggest Assassin's Creed Shadows fan, but I had a good time playing that game. But people are going to write that one off just because, it's just another open world Ubisoft game. I don't need that in my life. It's okay, but I haven't played an open world Ubisoft game in a minute. That shit kind of hits when it's fun and different if you're playing a bunch of different stuff in between these types of things. When it comes to From Software and Souls-like and everything, it's just another Souls-like. No. We need to get back to going and just having great games. When the trailer shows up, give them the credit it's deserved. I legitimately don't know at this point if there's anything that is actually oversaturated.
Here's what I'll say to this is that I think that when it comes to oversaturation and when it comes to allocation of resources, that's where the issue arises, where if you're doing this and chasing Battle Royale, chasing live service, making another roguelike or whatever, it's there needs to be some give and take there, especially for a bigger company like Sony, where why don't we have more action games? Why don't we have more platformers? Why are they chasing the live service thing? It's
last year we got action games and a platformer.
I'm just saying that I understand that at its core, I don't think anything is oversaturated, but I think it always comes at a cost of other genres being served, where there's desperate needs for other genres that people are asking for.
What genres are we not getting?
More rhythm games, Nick.
I'm fine. We just got a Rhythm Heaven trailer, and that's awesome. And Rift of the Necrodancer this year. Well, I don't know if there's any oversaturation because we legitimately are getting everything. We are getting sports games. We are getting rhythm games. We're getting action RPGs, open world titles, racing games, fighting games. Every single year, these companies, I think, are doing legitimately a great job of serving everyone. And then the second, we're like, oh man, Sony, you haven't done anything creative in a long time when it comes to like a PS2 era, like magical type game. And then they release Astro Bot as the game of the year. Like you don't have a like someone from Sony that you're partnering up with that gives a Souls-like experience, and then you go and get a Stellar Blade. Like, I think that they're doing a great job. And then when you look at Team Green, it's like, where's the magical games? And then they come out with something like South of Midnight, a soundtrack that I've listened to nonstop ever since I played it. Like, I legitimately do not know the argument at this point other than people just wanting to complain. Being like, man, we got too many roguelikes. It's like, if you think that we have too many roguelikes, fucking don't play another roguelike. Play something else, because there are hundreds of games that are coming out every single day, and tens of them are good. Like, I don't get it at this point. I keep on seeing discourse of like, when Blueprints came out, as people were like, I don't really need another one of these types of games. It's like, these types of games, puzzle games?
I think roguelike is what a lot of people would say.
Or roguelikes?
Yeah.
There is, sure, you might have played a lot of roguelikes recently and you need to play something else. But as someone that hasn't played a lot of roguelikes recently, I'm like, Blueprints kind of sounds like a good idea right now. Just because it's not for you doesn't mean it's not for somebody else. And just because you have played a lot of one genre does not mean that you should go and dunk on that genre for going and sufficing other players.
But I think a lot of people who say that they're frustrated with the oversaturation, it's not that they're playing that genre over and over again. They're complaining that they're getting that genre instead of something else. I think people are saying.
I understand, not especially though when it's the indie scene and it's just people making their passion projects. It's like, why are we not championing these games, especially when they're fucking awesome?
Yeah.
Compared to trying to find a way to just hate on anything for any fucking reason.
When I heard about Blueprints, and you've been banging the drum on this game for a while, but like understanding what it was, like this puzzle box of this like mansion or whatever, I'm like, no, I'm good on that. Not interested in it. Don't like puzzles in games very much. And if that's the whole focus, I played The Witness and hated it, and that's the whole focus of that game.
People have said it's not exactly one for one Witness.
I know.
Yeah.
But, it's a puzzle game in which you're
totally
doing a lot of puzzles.
Yes.
The Witness is one of one.
Yeah.
Nothing's ever going to be The Witness again, other than The Witness 2, if that ever happens.
The Witnessing.
Yeah. And when I say I hate The Witness, it's like I just hate puzzle games. I think it's a very well-made game. I just am stupid. But when it came to Blueprints, it was like puzzle game. I'm like, no, I'm out. Definitely not. And then somebody said roguelike puzzle game, and I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, this is the antithesis of Connor. I'm not touching that game.
Yeah. But not you understand, not for you doesn't mean to go and be like, we're getting too many of these or X, Y, and Z, especially when it is for me. Indie scene, like I'm
glad it exists.
I'm glad it exists. I'm stoked to hopefully this is another one that like Connor and I just explained for 20 minutes on this podcast how there are not a lot of gaps when it comes to reviewing games at this point. We're just always reviewing stuff. We're always doing that sort of grind. And so I still need to go get back to Kingdom Come 2. I still need to go and play Blueprint. But most importantly, here's where I'm at. I got stuff that I need to play, but then what I need to get to also is that Death Stranding. Connor, I want to get back to Death Stranding so badly.
I need to get back to Wild Arms.
Really?
Like, no, I need to play any of my retro games. Like, I have a massive shelf of a huge investment of retro games, but I can't play any of them because I'm too busy playing review stuff on PlayStation or whatever. Yeah. Like all modern stuff. It's like, geez Louise.
Yeah, review stuffs are mostly modern stuff. Yes, it is the new releases.
That is true. So let's get into the main topic here. We're talking about game series that need to come back, and I think a important distinction in our discussion is I needed to have experience with the franchise. I don't want to start talking about like, I mean, this is a bad example because we're getting a sequel, but like Onimusha, like where like I don't know anything about Onimusha, like that. Sure, like I understand, or like Splinter Cell. I've never played a Splinter Cell game. It would be really cool to see that franchise come back. I think we're gonna get it eventually, but like I don't want to be like talk about something that I don't even fully understand. So that's how I made my list. Do you have any stipulations on your end?
Not necessarily. I just threw out a bunch of series that I the funny part with me is a lot of these older series that haven't been around in a minute, I've not gone to at all because they're older series that aren't these sequelized things that I need to hop into to be in the zeitgeist discussion. So some of these are games that I've not tried out, but I would like to see come back because then I can get in on it. That's sort of where my mindset was with some of these titles.
I'll kick it off here. We're both going to do 5.
5.
Back and forth. I have
Lakers in 5.
11, just in case.
I have no idea how many I have. 10.
All
something like that.
First up. What the fuck are we doing with Castlevania?
That was my number 1.
Like, what are we doing at this point? That makes no sense that we don't have a new mainline Castlevania game, whether it be 2D or 3D, preferably 2D, in 2025. Konami, you're giving your IP out to everybody, left and right. Castlevania, vampires, hotter than ever. The vampires are at their apex of their popularity right now. Get them out there.
They? I would say Twilight in 2008 had something to say about that.
They've been coasting on that for years, dude.
Vampires' stock has just been plateaued since Edward Cullen.
Yeah. Like, come on, dude. Vampires, it's necessary to get this back. But seriously, Metroidvanias are more popular than they've ever been. You have stuff like they're giving it to the Dead Cells developer. You have stuff like Vampire Survivors. It's just totally ripping off Castlevania with mass popularity. It's time to just give this another go. I think you could do something AAA and do like a God of War type experience because I know that those exist on like PS3. Lord of Shadows, I think is what it's called, where you can do something more like an action game experience, like a Devil May Cry with Castlevania, or you can just make a straightforward 2D Metroidvania pixel art style. It would rip. It would be awesome. I want it. I need it. Give it to me. Please come back, Castlevania.
It was the first one I thought of. Yeah, it needs to come back. And for the reason that I said I wanted to come back is I've not played Castlevania games. A modern one wouldn't make me immediately play it.
You gotta just go play Symphony of the Night, Nick.
I'll get to it.
You have to.
That and Super Metroid both will be streamed this year.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That's the only time I have time to play games that I'm not reviewing is stream.
You gonna rip it on the PS1, Castlevania? Are you gonna play it on? I think you can.
Is it not SNES?
Castlevania.
Castlevania.
That's PS1.
Is it just PS1?
Mm-hmm.
Is that how you played it?
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's what we do.
It is weird though. You can't use the stick, which is.
I'm fine with that. Fighting games.
You get used to it like after a while, but it threw me off.
But yeah, no, it makes sense. I would love a modern one. I would like a third-person action adventure game with it because I think that world would be super cool to go and play around in. And yeah, no, makes complete sense.
And you have stuff like fucking. Just mix Elden Ring and Bloodborne. You have yourself a Castlevania game. We thought the Dustbloods was Castlevania. Like,
dude, what a trailer!
This
what a
genre
moment.
is like ripe for the taking for this franchise. Like, make a Souls-like Castlevania game.
Yeah.
I know that that's not what Castlevania fans would probably want, but like, I think it would be cool to just use that IP in that way.
I think that Souls-like Castlevania sort of makes sense because when you think of Castlevania, you think of level design, and if you're doing third person, you're thinking about these looping and sprawling levels with really cool weapons and kits and everything. And yeah, I think that actually like it's a Souls-like because maybe don't make it as hard as a Souls-like and make it more action adventure, maybe Black Myth-esque or God of War Ragnarok-esque. But like there's something there of why has this not happened yet? Do you not like money?
The anime's big too.
Yeah.
They just came back with Nocturne, which I think is getting another season. I'm not sure on that. Do not hold me to that. But Laura loves the first run of Castlevania. I watched the first 2 seasons with her. Really enjoyed it. I've not watched the rest of it, which I've heard is excellent.
Yeah.
And they're pumping out more with Nocturne. It's like Castlevania is still relevant. Like Konami just hates money.
Yeah. With my first choice, I feel like we're doing a draft, but we're just yapping it up. There's no competition on this one. No. It's Portal. God, I want another one.
What are we doing over here?
Like, and we're gonna do openings draft here in a moment. Like, Portal 2, Connor and I have discussed. That's another one I want to play this year. I have it on my Xbox Series X. That's going to be one of those like, okay, it's a Saturday. I think it's going to work really well when maybe some football's on this fall and it's like, okay, we finished shooting. I'm going to just hang out, throw Red Zone up on screen and just play Portal 2 real quick because I just haven't played it in a while. And I talk so highly about this game. I need to make sure. I need to make sure that I'm not insane, which obviously I'm not. It's one of the best games ever.
Isn't that a fun part of this? Is like we talk very highly about games we haven't played for like 10 years.
Yeah, for me, BioShock 1 was a big moment for me where I was like, I played that game forever ago. And then going and playing it this past spring, I was like, holy shit, the game still holds up. But it's really funny. I'm actually closer to a 9 than 9.5 after.
Yeah, very rarely do I go back to a game that I speak extremely highly of and am like really let down by, or like enough to change my score on it. The most recent one would be The Wolf Among Us.
Yeah.
I think I would knock that down.
To
like a 9,
okay.
probably.
So now, quick question: Wolf Among Us, Walking Dead, which one's
It's very close.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But yeah, no, I would love another Portal. I like this is, it's hard. They made the perfect game.
Yeah,
I understand it. I get it.
Go out on top. You won the Super Bowl.
You literally won video games. Like you might have done some. Like there are so few devs that get to go and say like we did it in such a way that we do not know how to make it better. And I do think that there's part of that team that every now and then is probably on a whiteboard somewhere that's like Portal 3 ? And they're just like trying to toss ideas on the board to try to make an interesting story and new puzzles that make sense and play around in the sandbox. But like it's like you did it. You already did everything I think that you really could in that world, and like
exactly what is left there for there to be done. Like I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
But except more. Like where like I don't know if going more ruins it.
I understand, which is true because right now we talk about all the time the difference between masterpiece and perfection. And I'm a dummy. I'm not perfect, but I don't know how you make Portal 2 better. I don't know.
I prefer Portal 1 to Portal 2.
Yeah.
I think it's a frictionless experience where it's like it's stimulating, where the puzzles are hitting, you're having fun, you're not stuck for too long, you feel smart when you accomplish something, and then the story I think is very interesting. It's quick, in and out,
2.5 hour
experience where you're like it hits, it is effective, and it's like nothing you'd ever played before. And I think even going back after playing Portal 2, I'm like, yes, I still feel this way.
Draft eventually, or maybe full podcast games you can beat in one night. That would be a fun one. Yeah, I'll write that down.
Gone Home. Been playing Gone Home a lot lately. I might want to go back and play that again.
Games, okay, but yeah, no, I would love it. Connor, what's your next one?
Let's go with a weird one. Rayman. The fuck are we doing with Rayman?
That'd be good.
Legends, Origins, or you can go back to the older ones.
Ubisoft just likes making bad games, Connor. I'm kidding. It's a joke.
Origins, Legends are like considered some of the greatest 2D platformers of all time. One of the only platformers that go head to head with something like the likes of Mario for people, where I think that just sitting on this franchise and sitting on something that could earn you a lot of goodwill from people, and not utilizing it sucks. And the window has basically closed on this because the studio that made Origins and Legends made Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, which is excellent as well. They only make excellent video games, and they're shut down.
PSA: somebody needs to Tango Gameworks them and bring them, totally revive them.
Yeah,
like so if you can find a way to properly budget a team like that, and then that's once again, this is not that team's fault at all, but the assumption is the game didn't make enough money and whatever, but like it's also like, how does it not? Because I don't know, but that is just a failure on the entire industry, and honestly anyone that had a decision to shut down that team can genuinely piss off. Like I just don't get it.
Lost Crown sold 1.3 million units.
Yeah, and it's a fucking 2D Metroidvania.
What were their expectations for this? Like, that sounds like a massive success to me for a small 2.5D Metroidvania game.
Insane.
Like,
I colossal fucking failure on anyone that had part of letting that team go. When Tango got shut down, there were nights that I literally lost sleep over being like, how fucked is the world if you go and like do that well and then you still get shut down? Like accolades and public reception and supposedly sales and players that are coming in to play this on a shadow drop. and then they got brought back, and it was a beautiful moment of like, maybe the world still is good. And then thinking about this, I've just same thought process. It's like, how the fuck do you mess this up? Anyways, yes.
But Rayman Origins, played that end of last year, early this year. Absolutely adored it. Played Legends back in the day. Those musical levels. Are you familiar with these?
Yeah.
Where you jump into the beat. I know that there's like Eye of the Tiger is one of them.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I played it because it was high school when I played Legends.
I remember seeing all this is such a weird memory. You're unlocking some things right now.
I thought those were in Origins as well. They're not. So when I booted up Origins, I was excited for those levels. Didn't hit. So I'm excited to get to Legends eventually, but I wanted to take a break in between the two of them. So yeah, I can't believe we don't have a new Rayman game in 2025. And it's been since what, 2011, 2013 or something?
Yeah.
Because it was like Wii U era for Rayman Legends.
It's been a while.
Vita era for Rayman Legends.
Why are we getting more Rabbids and Mario games when we can get some Rayman games? That's all I'm saying. Use your IP better, Ubisoft, please. I got a fun one for you.
Mm-hmm.
Soul Calibur.
I was thinking about this one.
Yeah. Right now we're in the fighting games renaissance, in my opinion, where all the heavy hitters are just firing on all cylinders. And then you got something cool coming back like Virtua Fighter. And it's like, Bandai, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, this would be such a slam dunk. And maybe it's, like we really want to focus our fighting efforts on something like Attack. But it's just like, you could make both. Fighting game fans want to play fucking everything. It's sort of what I realized. You want to know how I know that? I want to play everything. Like I want to go and play every fighting game possible. City Wolves coming out in about a week. I want to fucking play the shit out of that.
But do you want to play it and try it, or do you want to get into it?
Well, so
you know
no. City Wolves, I want to try. Soul Calibur, I want to get into.
Yeah, see, that's the thing is I think there's a very distinct difference, and if you're not going to get that, we're going to get into it audience with this, then I don't know if it's worth doing. But I think Soul Calibur can.
Does get
I'm very curious to see if Fatal Fury can capture.
Oh, so Fatal Fury is going to hit the fighting game market. That's it. You're hitting the fighting game players. You're not the big bats in the fighting game space have already released their stuff for this gen.
Soul Calibur, 3 different releases, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch 2.
Yep.
Who we getting as our cameo fighters?
Kratos for PlayStation.
No, he's already been there. You can't do it again. Well, maybe you can.
Yeah, I was
you can
say,
do old man Kratos.
No, I think you might just do Kratos Link again.
Sackboy for PlayStation.
Who could be someone
They
fun?
had Yoda in.
Yeah, that's true.
In Soul Calibur. You can have a small little guy.
Maybe Aloy.
I could see that.
Aloy would be pretty cool. And then do what I always want, just put Chai from Hi-Fi Rush and fucking everything for Xbox representation, even though it doesn't work there anymore.
Yeah. He doesn't work there anymore.
He's fucking clocking into Xbox Studios. But no, Soul Calibur needs to come back. It's one of those perfect. It's another why. It's a perfect fit at this point.
We didn't get the Nintendo character, Nick.
It is Link, but he's already been in there.
Who else could we do?
Samus?
Byleth. Samus would be cool. Yeah. Dude, that would rule.
I do think you could go any Fire Emblem character.
Yeah, Byleth. But I think that would piss a lot of people off because people hate
Fire Emblem
characters in Smash Bros. Or like the inclusion. They're like, we have too many of them. But
do you think we have too many Fire Emblem characters in Smash?
I think you're kind of capping out. Like,
yeah, but for me, it's like there's enough movesets, and at the end of the day, everyone's a punchy boy, a swordy boy, or a gun boy, and so
that is fair.
Like you're going to add somebody with a sword, and it's from your first party IP.
Let's do this real fast. Who do we got? We got Roy. We have Marth. We have Ike.
Lucina.
You have Byleth. You have Corrin. Robin. Is that it? 7?
I feel like there's 8.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like I remembered how many. Oh, what
how many?
Start up with your next one.
Okay. Next one's an obvious one that everybody's waiting for that we might get, but it's starting to look more unlikely now. Titanfall 3. What do we got?
Marth, Roy, Ike, Robin, Lucina, Corrin, Byleth.
I said Corrin.
We did it.
There we go.
What were we talking about? Titanfall.
Titanfall. What are we doing? Dude,
I didn't have it listed. That's the thing. I didn't write it down. But yeah,
multiplayer first-person shooters. I feel like for a while we were like everything is Call of Duty, and then we get something like X Defiant, and it's like this is just Call of Duty,
but worse.
But worse.
Yeah.
Titanfall is a unique experience. something that we have not been able to capture since Titanfall 2. There's this wide open genre of mech first person shooters just begging to be filled. It's so cool. Like in the movement shooter era of Black Ops 3 and Titanfall 2, that's long gone. People are over it. But that doesn't mean that they can't be into it again. Distance makes the heart grow fonder. It's been long enough that I feel like flying around with a jetpack, jumping into a mech and fighting away, it's the time. I feel like it needs to make a comeback. I really want this game so badly. I'm not a big multiplayer shooter guy, but Titanfall just hits different, dude. I fucking love Titanfall, and I want another game.
I want it. I really do. I would do a lot of things to get another Titanfall. Because for me, when I think about video game experiences when I was 12 years old, 13 years old, there's so few games that I really dove into during that time and like put in more than 30 hours. Titanfall 1 for me was that experience. The Xbox One, that boot up, Xbox On. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. And I was using that left and right.
Oh, we were using that all the time.
The Kinect.
Dude, us sitting on those blue couches in our basement, playing Titanfall. For me, it was Titanfall and How I Met Your Mother. It was, and like, those are two of my favorite things ever. Like, I would do anything. Yeah. I don't... Respawn, I know you're busy. Busy. But like, there's gotta be a way to do this where we can have your Apex and you can have your Jedi games and we can have Titanfall.
Don't send it out to die this time. They killed Titanfall 2 by putting it out in between Call of Duty and Battlefield. Like literally week.
Right. Yep.
Titanfall week. It was like, what are you doing?
Find a way to put this game out in February. Because all of the releases for multiplayer games seemingly happen from summer to winter time. Find a way to put it out in the spring and dominate for 6 months. Like that's what you're really looking for when you're releasing a major multiplayer game. You're gonna have people that play it fucking forever. You're gonna have the people that play it for a week. But how can we find a way to get people like us, people like the people in our Discord, the people watching this show? How can you get them to play for months on end, a few months? And the answer is you put it out in the spring.
Here's a counterpoint. What if you just do a single player experience and just get something in this universe out?
I would fucking love that.
Yeah, give me an 8-hour campaign of just Titanfall.
I'm putting Titanfall 1 and 2 on my stream schedule. Do you want it?
Well, Titanfall 1 doesn't have a campaign.
Sorry, Titanfall 2 on my stream schedule. Do you want it?
No, if I'm gonna replay that, I want to play it on my own.
Dude,
it's been a long time.
Yeah, that's you time.
Yeah. I said it's been a long time.
Oh, I thought you said it's my time. I was like, okay, you do you, man. Oh, funny.
You're up.
Yeah. Let's go with BioShock. This is an embarrassment from 2K at this point. Embarrassment.
I don't want it. I'm gonna be honest. I'm okay with it just being done. Don't touch it without Ken Levine.
No, do and fucking find a way to. The pitch is there. There was rumors, and like the rumors sound cool. An Arctic setting. We don't have a lot of that. It feels like in the industry when we're talking about oversaturation. Yep. I think that there's a way to provide a level of tension and atmosphere with that setting that is so BioShock. I understand that Ken Levine. He's one of the GOAT, one of the greatest people to ever set up two of the best video game worlds ever. But like, you have this IP. It's like it's like Metal Gear Solid at this point. I don't even have Metal Gear on my list because I don't want Bandai to fuck it up.
Konami.
Konami. Not Bandai. Those logos. I was just doing making the Connect Four board, and I saw both those logos. They look the exact same in my mind for some reason. I have no idea because one's orange and one's red. But I would love BioShock to come back, have a moment in the sun, fucking provide, actually do the damn thing. It's going to happen eventually. Connor, was 17 years old once. 17, okay? Young lad. And I was waiting for the train to go into Boston. It was a late May day. And the E3 season was right around the corner. And I sent out to my buddies, Jared, Nathan, and Matt Lucet, a fun little bingo card. And on that bingo card, I had BioShock 4 listed. It has been 8 years of me predicting, praying, and promising myself that we're gonna get this fucking game eventually, and I will continue to do so like it's my last day. We need it. I want it. I need it. These games are just fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And so, like, I don't need Rapture. I don't need Columbia, but fucking find a way to go. I feel like often we see a game and we're like, damn, if this like had some sort of backing or like power behind it, something like a Hell Is Us, where it's like, give me something to sell this game a little bit more than just like what you're showing. If you're able to find a cool way to make a first-person Arctic game and just throw BioShock 4 on it, I promise it would get the fans jumping.
Here's my thing. When I said I don't want this, I'm still gonna play the hell out of it. Like, I'm still gonna like.
If BioShock 4 gets announced at Keely's event,
I'm
where?
Oh.
That's like the most. Dude, this podcast is off the rails. You're talking about Twilight.
I don't know if I'm gonna be like, oh, you know what I mean? Like,
I would be like t-shirt cannon, like just like, oh, because mainly it's just been so long of speculating and questioning why it hasn't happened yet. This has been a question that has been on everyone's mind for a decade. It's 12 years. People talk about GTA 6. It's going to be longer for BioShock.
But we don't need another BioShock is the thing.
Did we need another GTA?
Kind of.
Yeah, I mean, for the industry's sake, honestly.
I mean, like...
But like, it's going to... that's going to be my hot take next week. Is we need another GTA... GTA 6 has been this long since GTA 6. When are we getting a fucking BioShock, dude? Yeah. God damn. It probably will not be my hot take. I will probably forget about it.
I have a lot of options here.
You got 2 left?
Yeah.
I have another 8 or 9.
Fuck it. We'll go with Little Big Planet. Dude, Little Big Planet 1 and 2 might have been the most fun I had playing video games in my entire life. Where it was, I get the PS3. I had never played anything like that. Building levels. Online, I had not played online games until I got the PS3, getting Little Big Planet 1 and being able to play other people's stuff or even play levels together online with friends. It was like, this is a magical experience. And obviously you can't recapture that. Playing that for the first time is never going to be replicable because you've already done it, obviously. But I think that with the parameters that are set with Little Big Planet of it being a 2D game, and obviously you can kind of break that open in Little Big Planet 2 and get really crazy and weird with it. Like people were making like shmups and stuff and like like different like mini games in Little Big Planet that were like really cool. With a future Little Big Planet, I think that Dreams was too far, where like you're going crazy. You can make anything and everything, where this narrows it down a little bit to platformer that I think is better suited for people to be like, okay, we're going to just make something really high quality in this genre. And you got a lot of really high quality levels because of that. And I think that the create, play, share genre doesn't exist anymore. And I mean, like, there's obviously some kind of like offshoots of that, but there's an opening here for PlayStation first party to come in, make something weird, make something creative, something that they're not really known for doing at this point because they're just all third-person action adventure story-based AAA games that you have Media Molecule who needs a hit. Little Big Planet is a name that people like, people want, and I think that it's kind of wild that we are at this point where I'm out here begging for a Little Big Planet.
Yeah, this is one that Media Molecule go back to basics, do what you do best, make something creative. Sackboy's so recognizable. Let's have some fun. Let's do it. Yeah. I don't want to go even further than that. I think you said it very well.
And you don't need to go wild with it either. We already have the 3D platformer mascot with Astrobot.
He is Astrobot.
You can go 2D here.
Yeah.
And stick with your roots and just
just make it 2D LVP.
Do what you know. Like
know what you do what you know.
Yeah. Exactly.
Shit. 2 left is hard, man. I got a board over here. Mario Super Sluggers.
Okay. Love it.
These sports games on Nintendo Switch are my favorite 7 out of 10 games ever. They're good video games. But goddamn, they're so disappointing. Because we know how good we had it on the Wii and the GameCube when it came to these Mario sports titles. They're just fun. They're easy. Mario Super Sluggers has one of my favorite things that you can have in gaming. A fat ass roster. Just so many players. And obviously it's baseball, so you need 9 players, right? But like they did it so well. And there's so much fun and it's so basic that what we saw with Aces for Mario Tennis Ace, that's a good to great game. That's a lot of fun. What we saw with Strikers Battle League, that's a good game. It's fine. Maybe that one's like a 6.5, but like love it like a 7. And then when we see a Switch Sports come out, it's like it's like my favorite 6 out of 10 game ever because there's so much fun to be had. Switch 2, I really hope that they dial in what makes those games special. And we haven't had one of these since like 2007. So it's been a long fucking time. A lot longer than I think people actually realize. I need this in my veins. I've been wanting this every single direct. And this is the nice part. I think that people forget with the Switch 2 discourse how much fun directs are about to be for the next couple of years.
I know, right?
Like we're so fucking back.
Yeah, we have reloaded completely on excitement.
We were sputtering out towards the end there. Yeah. Even though 2024 direct, the summer direct was one of the best directs maybe of all time. Metro Prime 4, okay. Echoes of Wisdom, Mario and Luigi Brothership. That I understand.
Yeah, it's good.
One of those is not like the other two, in my opinion. Where like a random Zelda game coming out of the blue and Metroid Prime 4 showing up in the same direct is fucking awesome.
Dude, Metroid Prime 4.
I'm so excited.
I was not this excited about it. I mean, like, I love Metroid Prime.
You excited for the mouse mode?
I'm just excited in general, seeing people like actually play it. And like, I'm excited for the Switch 2 and I want to play something on it or whatever, you know what I mean? There's not a ton of stuff. There's a good amount.
When are we going to get the date?
For pre-orders?
For Metroid.
Oh, yeah, it is weird. What if it's a launch title? I heard some people throwing that around that like it might still be a launch title, that it comes out.
It would be interesting. I think it's this is why I think there's more credence to a summer direct. Because you gotta, I would be shocked. I would be legitimately dumbfounded if the release date for Metroid Prime 4 is not done in a direct.
Yes.
It is too big of a announcement.
Do that ever otherwise?
Small titles, but like it's not for Metroid. And so the question might be, and the realization this might be the fall game.
This is make or break for Metroid. This game needs to do really well.
Connor, this game's going to 1 sell gangbusters and 2 is going to review extremely well.
And by make or break, I mean like I want this to be a big franchise. You know, what I mean?
You want it to be come back and be awesome.
I think Metroid will continue to just sputter along, and you'll get games like Dread like every once in a while. But like a Metroid Prime, a 3D full AAA experience, this game needs to do well, and I hope it does because it looks great.
Yeah, it looks awesome. Really good. But Super Sluggers needs to return. Give me a full ass roster. That's the step one. I feel like at Battle League they didn't do that. I want Toadsworth in this fucking game. I was gonna say, Grandpa Toad throwing the slowdown ball.
You stole the one thing I had to say on this. It's like, do you want to play it if it doesn't have Toadsworth in it?
Connor, if this game doesn't have Toadsworth, I'm going to be in the streets. I'm going to be rioting. I'm going to be an issue on this podcast. There is going to be...
Take Toadsworth out. He's too powerful.
He's so
It's so annoying. It's the worst.
I like that we did that stream.
I know,
and
it
really was. You made no adjustments.
I just could not hit the lob.
That stream was so good. We gotta get back to that. But like for me, it was inviting you guys a little bit into my childhood and my world. And what a special fucking game. Like, and people are like, just play the old one. It's like, yeah, I'm still gonna just play the old one. Right. But I would like one on the Switch too, with that I can go and maybe there's online and I'm playing with Matt, or there's other things. Like, just give me this game and make it. I'm not asking. I think that Mario Super Sluggers is like legitimately one of the best games ever. Like from level design of like these ballparks are all super fun and unique. The roster's great. The special abilities that you have with like it all is exceedingly fun and creative and everything I could want in a sports game. I'm not asking for 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10 levels of this game. I'm asking for an 8 out of 10 Mario Sports game. That's it. That's all I want. And I swear, in the same way with BioShock, that every single time we do any presentation and I make a bingo card, it's going to be on it. Every single time we do a direct, it's going to be hard for me not to predict it. Because, goddamn, it's going to happen eventually. But I swear to God, Connor, if they're like, Mario Baseball, we're going to do like 6v6 or something, and we're going to like lower this roster count, and we're going to try to dial it in. You just put fucking 50 people in Mario Kart World. Let me play the Goomba. Let me play as a penguin.
Let me swing a bat as a cow.
As a cow. I'm a simple man. Give me a roster. Let's have some fun with this one.
My last game series that needs to come back is Parasite Eve.
Yep.
Shocker, I know. For me, one of my favorite games of all time. Did you see the news, Nick? Parasite Eve, top 10 for Connor.
All time.
Number 10. Yeah.
For favorite or best?
Favorite. Okay. Parasite Eve in. You're not going to like what's out. Uncharted 4 out.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
It's your number 11 favorite game ever.
I think it's lower now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just because that playthrough kind of knocked it down a little bit.
It's really funny. That playthrough for me did... before that, I was like, there's a chance that I go down and push this to a 9.5 area. Mm-hmm. After it's been a long time since I played that. I've played a lot of games that I'm like, this is so definitively a 10. Maybe this is a 9.5. And then I played through it, and I was like, I was at the end of that game just reeling, where I was like, I understand that I have glazed Naughty Dog once or twice in my day. I like, but the fact is to me that they are 3 games in a row, excluding Lost Legacy, 3 major releases in a row, full price releases, and they released 3 10s. So when people are just like, are you excited for Intergalactic? I'm like, yeah, let's see if they can do it again. It would be insane if they could, but like if it would be me lying if I don't expect this game to be at least a 9. Like, and when you're talking a 9 out of 10 game, you're talking a phenomenal fucking title.
Yeah.
So
I can't wait for Intergalactic.
Anyways,
when it comes to Uncharted 4, though, like it's funny. We were talking about it earlier in the podcast about your opinion for stuff we're talking about. We're often talking about something that we loved from 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And like, I think that opinion is valid, but I think it definitely can use some updating depending on how long it's been. So coming back to Uncharted 4 after playing it 3 times in 2016, it's like, okay, yeah, like I feel a little bit differently now, but I still love it.
I mean, BioShock this year, like I already said, yeah, been dropped that a 0.5 for me. It's in that 9 area, and 9 is still a fucking amazing video game.
Parasite Eve.
Yes,
we are in a survival horror renaissance.
Yep,
and you have stuff coming back, Silent Hill, Dead Space in some capacity. I had Dead Space written down here as like coming back like fully.
Yeah.
Make a new Dead Space game. I think that would be awesome. Resident Evil, obviously, just the king of the genre right now. But Parasite Eve is so different and weird. And the RPG mechanics that are in this game, the music, the overarching story that is super strange and like out of this world. I think that there's a space for modernizing it a little bit, kind of reeling in the story and the weirdness, but still let it fly a little bit, let it be weird, and make a new one or remake this and give it a fresh coat of paint. I don't think it needs it. I think that this game is obviously I just played it for the first time in 2025. Top 10 favorite game of all time now. I fucking love it. I want to play it again really badly. I want to play the sequel. There's also a game on PS3, Third Birthday, I think is what it's called, Parasite Eve Third Birthday, where like I think that's technically the third game.
Yeah.
But Square Enix, what are you doing? Like, I know that they're really locking in right now on trying to just make AAA bangers that are going to make them a lot of money, and I do not think this is it to do that. But I think that if you look at what Capcom is doing, do what they're doing. Bring back your old beloved franchises with Onimusha and Okami and stuff like that, and remake your franchises like they're doing with Resident Evil. Like,
dude, Capcom's on one right now.
I think Square Enix should be taking the Capcom
playbook
through and through. I don't know why they're not.
To some level, they are, where they're focusing up on their IP that's done very well for them and releasing their Final Fantasies, and they're doing less big swings when it comes to like, I don't think we're going to get another Forspoken issue this generation.
But how are they in a position right now where it takes so long for them to kind of line up the dominoes and get their games out the door?
It's only Kingdom Hearts, it feels like, though.
I look at Capcom.
I understand.
I
understand.
Output.
Yeah, their output.
Square Enix is not doing that.
How big is Capcom versus Square?
I have no idea. So we might be talking out our ass completely.
That's my thing, where I'm like, Capcom must be a lot bigger, like a lot, because they have a Monster Hunter team and they have a Resident Evil team and they have, like, the amount of IP that they're juggling right now, Stephen Lee, is just insane.
Yeah, hop in the comments and let us know. I might just look it up after the fact. But Parasite Eve, go play the original on PS1 or on PS3 via PS1 Classics or on PlayStation Vita, baby.
Nice.
Via PS1 Classics. It's excellent. It's so fun. Highly recommend it, and I would love to see it come back.
Connor, I'm gonna give you 5 guesses on this. What does Nick love when it comes to video games? I'll let you. I'll zone it in a little bit. It's a genre. What do I love in video games?
Third person
action games. I do love those, but that's not what I'm talking about right now.
First person shooters.
Love first person shooters. That's not what I'm talking about right now.
Battle royales.
Oh, I love me battle royales, but that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about right now.
Okay, I don't know that.
Racing games.
Okay.
Let's bring back F-Zero. Let's fully do it. Not 99. I'm totally that doesn't count. I want a main release F-Zero game because there's a spot for it. You talk about Wipeout, this like fast racing game and everything. For me, I want to feel like I'm flying through the atmosphere, having a great time playing some F-Zero. Have I played F-Zero? No. This is the classic example of this would get me in, though. Playing something more modern, a little bit more upscaled. Does the idea that we can have Mario Kart World and Kirby Air Riders kind of like throw out the fact that we're getting another racing game from Nintendo first party in a while? Yes, that's not going to happen for a minute, it seems. But bring it back. Let's have some fun.
Where do you think Kirby Air Riders falls on Metacritic, Nick?
If it did not have Sakurai's name on it, 77.
Yeah, I don't know how this game is going to pan out.
I think that this is going to be Nintendo bumped. I think that Sakurai also doesn't make anything that's not great. Yeah. Right? Like, that's the thing where you know that there's an idea here that he has to do with this game more so than Kirby Air Riders 1 has like a 60-something.
I'm looking up Kid Icarus.
Okay, cool. This is going to be awesome. I would be shocked if it's not awesome.
I think that we're looking at like an 83, 84, 85.
Yeah, I think 87. I think it's going to be that high. Who got it for Fantasy Critic?
I have no idea.
How much did you bid on it?
I'm not on the ball with this. I was waiting for people to put their bids in to see like, okay, like this is what I need to bid on. Uprising has an 83.
Yeah. There's no way that it's going to be...
I think it'll be better than Uprising.
I do too. I think it's going to be around that 85, 87 area.
I was waiting for people to bid. And then hop in on it. And then it was Saturday night and 8 o'clock had passed. And I was like, fuck.
We haven't talked about this at all on this show, and I kind of just want to quickly hop into it. Fantasy Critic. I got a lot of shit from the people in our league because they were like, you bid that much? I think when you have, for those who don't know Fantasy Critic, it's a fantasy sport where you get points for the way that games are graded on Metacritic or OpenCritic.
Yeah.
I have seen so many of these leagues over time. What you need is either an immense amount of consistency or you need a couple big swings. Mm-hmm. South of Midnight was coming out, and I was like, it was really funny. I'm like, I don't think that this game is going to, like with the previews that happened and everything, I was like, this game probably isn't going to fucking bang on OpenCritic. And then I'm pretty sure it released. And then that Thursday, I literally was like, saw the OpenCritic. I was like, I need to bid a lot of fucking money on Bonanza. Because I think
you have South of Midnight on your team.
I had South of Midnight on my team. God damn it. I was going to go South of Midnight and Split Fiction to open up my draft.
I think that, I don't know how much you ended up bidding. I think bidding 90 on Bonanza.
I think I did 92.
Budget of 100. what there's not that many games that you're going to get something that has the opportunity to be in the 90s.
Exactly. So for those who don't know,
maybe one more this year that we don't know about.
Yep.
The rest of it, we're talking 80s, 70s. Like,
yeah. And so here's the thing, though. I didn't just bid on that. I paired it with $1 bids that I could get through that I think are going to do really well. So
the $1 bid, like that's the thing. You need $1 to fill out your team for the most part.
So the way that I did it was the first pick that I did was a 3D platformer for Mario. Nobody counterpicked it. So I'm still able to drop it. The rest of my lineup is filled out now. I did South of Midnight, which got me only 8 points. Ninja Gaiden 4, which hopefully still does come out this fall. Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remake. I think we're a week away. There's a chance the next time we shoot a podcast that it's here. Connor,
where do you think that falls on Metacritic?
80s.
I think that I'm starting to be worried about it. Like I said on other podcasts, I think low 80s, high 70s. And that's not I think the original Oblivion, based on everything I know, is an excellent game. I'm worried that the remake is not going to be well done. I hope it is. I hope I am wrong.
Yeah.
So.
Mixtape is also on my lineup, which hopefully we get a date for that sometime during showcase season for fall, which is the game with the music, and it kind of looks like Life is Strange-esque. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. That's going to bang.
Yeah, you're probably going to win. I'm not going to.
And then, like an artist. Like a fucking artist. I felt like I was pulling off a heist. I literally was like, you know, the classic Ocean's 11's like cuts were happening. I'm like, it cuts to the computer, then it cuts to me, and then I'm over the computer, and then we cut back to the computer, and then it pulls up Fantasy Critic. Type in Fantasy Critic. Type in Donkey Kong Bonanza. Originally, I had a $90 bid on Donkey Kong Bonanza. And then I was like, if I'm going to bid $90, I might as well bid. Like, I need to outbid somebody that also bids 90. So I put down $92, but then I bid on 2 other games. FBC Firebreak for $1. That's at least 7 points. I'm not asking for 15 points from Firebreak, which it easily could get because it's Remedy. I'm asking for 7 points to 12 points. 82, that seems about right. 81?
I have no idea where this thing
82?
falls. You're right,
but
though. The range of outcomes, I think
the worst case is 7.
Is like
77.
Yeah.
And then Witchbrook.
Maybe.
This cozy game that showed up and we've now seen it 2 times. It looks adorable. They reconfirmed holiday 2025.
Ooh, that always worries
Here's
me.
the thing, that it's a little concerning there, but I do think that it releases. I think that also the way that Switch is marketing it. Normally they don't push dates too often when it comes to Switch marketing.
Right.
And then my counterpick's Persona 6, which is not coming out. Yeah. So I'm going to nail that. 3D Mario, I assume I'm going to drop it. There's still a snowball's chance that we get it this year.
That would be crazy. That would be awesome.
If we have a Summer Direct, I could see us getting a 3D Mario.
Yeah, what are the odds to be at a Summer Direct? Low, right? What are they looking at? September then?
No matter we're going to get a Direct in June, July, August, or September. Remove August. I don't think it's going to be August. It's going to fucking be August because I said that. But yeah, I think if we get one, I would say 30% chance we get a June Direct at this point. 30%. Mainly because we don't have the Metroid date. If we had the Metroid date, I would say we would wait until September for a Direct.
Okay. Yeah.
I think there's a chance September. We get a late June Direct. Hey, you're playing your Mario Kart right now. Let's go and start to market what you're going to get.
Yeah, that's the thing is you could do like a full breakdown with Donkey Kong. Like a longer trailer.
Oh, we could get a 7-minute Donkey Kong trailer. That's the other thing. Are we only going to market Donkey Kong one time? Putting my marketing major hat on, that's a bad decision. You want to market that game more than once.
That would be cool if we get like a direct around launch. And
I would say right after launch, like June 20th-ish, June 25th, around there. Boom.
And then is that the last direct of the year?
No, then we get one in September also. Normally we get 3. We normally get a February, a summer, and a September when there's stuff to talk about. Which there is stuff to talk about.
It's so wild that like directs have become such like a ubiquitous thing.
Yeah.
Like I remember when they first started and people were like, "This is kind of weird."
Yeah.
And then now they're like, "Oh, this is good." And then now it's just like these are great.
The Switch changed, I think, that narrative a little bit, where all of a sudden it became must watch. Like it became we all know the moment it happened. Inkling's eye having the Smash Ball in it was the moment that, because once again we kind of expected there might be a tease of this, but the way that they know how to do a direct with it, for those, I love video game showcases. They are marketing. I like marketing to some level. Like, I think that it's cool. I think that the way that you go and present things and how you show something off is really cool and important. And the way you distribute information, providing hype, allowing the fans to get excited is a good thing.
F-Zero.
But that moment was fucking awesome. I kind of looked at the clock, was like, oh shit.
No, I just thought it was fun. This has happened like 5 times this podcast where we start at one place and then go in a completely different direction.
We just go. But that's hopefully, let us know if you like that. I think a majority of people do. Yeah. There's got to be someone that's just like, I just want to talk about F-Zero. But real quick though.
Yeah.
Masterclass though. Because now I have... Connor,
we're still talking about Fantasy Critic?
I have $8 left to go.
Really?
To go because I got $92. That's all I spent.
Okay.
So I can now go and drop Mario and then pick up one of the summer showcase type games that gets a date if I need to after that. Masterclass.
Wouldn't it be cool
of the century.
Wouldn't it be cool if Phantom Blade Zero came out this year?
No, Connor, our schedule's too fucked.
That would be awesome.
It is fucked right now. What game's gonna come out? If you want to know what's funny, I was like, last year it was so nice. We had the summer of hanging out and playing some cool, fun games, and not a lot of like bang, bang, bang releases. Mario Kart World, Death Stranding, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Tony Hawk Pro Skater. This is all happening in like 50 days. Fuck, dude, it's awesome.
Other game series that we did not mention. Do you have any?
I want to throw out Smash Bros. Because I think that it's a weird spot right now where it doesn't feel like we're going to get another one, and I would like it to come back in a proper way.
Yeah.
That was the first one I wrote down, but I was like, that's not the best one I have by any means. Rock Band, Star Fox, Mega Man, Left 4 Dead.
I like all those.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have Resistance. I have Uncharted. I know. It's kind of, I know that that's like counterintuitive to everything I say of like just letting things end. I think I would like another Uncharted game at this point with and my preferred solution at this point for Uncharted is full reboot, different characters, same adventure style.
Okay, I disagree, but I'm fine with that.
Yeah, we've already talked about it before. Like, but if they go your route, I'm playing it too. So, Ni no Kuni, I think, is just a really interesting, cool idea. Love the world. Love the characters of the original. 2 is like a different direction, but I think it's still really fun. Really a fun video game. So I would like another Ni no Kuni game. And then the Sucker Punch Power Hour, Infamous and Sly Cooper.
Yeah,
I think would be cool. Jack and Dexter as well.
Yeah, Connor, PlayStation All Stars. Let's get honestly.
I thought about it.
Honestly, that'd be a great time.
Draft time.
Excuse me. Did I say that just because it's on the back wall? Yep. Yes, I did.
Okay. You get the first one. First
pick? Yep. I like it.
Today, we are drafting video game openings, and these can be the first level. This can be the first cutscene. This can be just whatever you perceive as the opening of the video game. Nick, what is your first pick?
It's really tough between my top 2. Like, they are on the same exact tier. I think that they're both excellent. They both provide intrigue to what the story is going to behold. I'm going to go with one that has the more icon status for opening compared to one that's a little bit more emotional. Uncharted 2. The train hanging on with one arm, Nathan Drake. The adventure that begins is so perfect. Uncharted 2 is the best video game opening of all time.
Fuck, you really put me in a position here where like there's going to be people mad that I don't pick the one that I'm supposed to pick here. But first off, with my first pick, I'm going to go with Uncharted. No. I read Uncharted 2. And
that's funny. Is that your number one?
That would have been my number one.
Yeah.
With my first pick, I'm going to go with Mass Effect 2. A really a intro that grabs you immediately, where you're like, where is this even going to go? After Mass Effect 1, this franchise just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Mass Effect 2, the hype is ramping up, and you're thrown into this sequence where you're like, what the fuck is going on? This isn't happening. Is this happening? And what it plays out there, it's like immediately grabbing, and I was totally kind of hooked in for the rest of the ride that I was going to be taking on with Mass Effect 2. So Mass Effect 2 with my first pick. With my second pick, I'm going to go with The Last of Us. A emotional gut punch of an opening. It's iconic for a reason. It's going to make you cry. It's going to make you intrigued as to where the story is going to go. The Last of Us with my second pick.
With my second pick, I'm going to choose the bombing mission from Final Fantasy VII.
Of course you are.
Is it the wrong pick? No.
Original?
I'm going to go with remake.
Okay.
I think that it's just better done in remake.
Right.
It's still the same magic, but also it's just also the we're fucking back moment. But any iteration of the bombing mission, fuck it, we'll take the one with Zach, right? It's all awesome. FF7 remake with my second pick. My third pick, the Halo drop from Metal Gear Solid 3. Just what a fucking opening, cinematic as hell. We're so fucking back. It's cinema. It's so good that a decade and a half later, Tom Cruise is like, fuck it, we'll do it for Fallout. So good.
With my third pick, I'm going to go with BioShock. You crash land, you go into the lighthouse, and you enter the world of Rapture. Just seeing the overview of this city that you're about to get to explore and being thrust into this world of mayhem is just so gripping. And for a game that came out in 2007, I think that this opening stands up toe to toe with the best of the best that have come after it. I think a lot of games are just chasing this opening in a lot of ways. With my fourth pick, I'm going to go with Ghost of Tsushima, which, like we said, the word opening can be a little bit loose.
This is the first hour of Ghost.
Yes, the first hour is the opening of Ghost, but we're talking when the title card comes up. Yeah. When you're on your horse, you're going through the field, and Jin reaches down and brushes his hand over the flowers or whatever. It's and the music is swelling. You're like, oh man, I'm going on an adventure, baby. Let's fucking go. And I think that I can watch people play that moment over and over again. Yeah. I think it's so fun to just see. It's so cool. I love it. Ghost of Tsushima with my fourth pick.
I got a question. Is Kingdom Hearts on the table for those cutscenes, basically?
You can make an argument. I would understand it, but
I'm just asking.
I don't know if I would pick it.
I'm not going to pick it then. Okay. I don't want to. I have other ones that I am very passionate about, but I was just curious. Oh gosh, dude.
You have two more, right?
I got two more. I'm like, where do I go? I'm gonna try to win the draft a little bit more. I have one that is my most honorable mention possible. Portal 2. The opening of Portal 2, waking up. Oh, god damn, it's so good because it immediately puts you back in this world, in this atmosphere, and it's asking all these questions, and it's an adventure that you're so excited to be going on, and it's just brilliant. I think that the Portal 2 opening is brilliant. And with my last pick, God of War Ragnarok. Up to the fight sequence, through that fight sequence, it is so good. Immediately, it displays what this game does best. The performances from everyone that is in the room with you, if you know, you know, is immediately just by the throat gripping you. And then you get into the fight sequence. And that fight sequence might be the best fight sequence in God of War history, which is an insane statement. Brilliant. It also has one of my favorite gaming moments of all time. I think if you play that fight sequence, you know the moment that it happens. It's just really fucking cool. Brilliant. God of War Ragnarok is a hell of a game, and it doesn't get better than the opening of it.
For my final pick, I'm going to go with Final Fantasy X. The sequence that plays it's very Uncharted 2-esque. Let's show you the end, for Uncharted 2's sake, the middle, before you hop into the beginning. And it immediately begs questions of how do we get here? Why are we here? What does this voiceover mean? The music that's playing, Tazanarkand, is one of the most iconic pieces of Final Fantasy music, video game music in general. It's somber, it's sad, it juxtaposes the beginning of the actual game, which is a little bit more cheery at first, and obviously it goes off the rails pretty quickly after that, but it's how do we go from this to that? And for the rest of the game, you're thinking about that intro sequence of what the fuck is going on here. and how do we get to that point? And it's once you finally get back to that, it's like, okay, this all is contextualized, makes a lot of sense, and I think it's one of the best video game openings ever. Honorable mentions.
I want mine first because this paid me not to pick it. Like I could not choose Ragnarok with the moments that's in that one, and then Portal 2 is perfect. Metaphor, ReFantazio. It's the first moment of the game, and it plays every single time you open the game to re-establish how intriguing this story initially is. The king is dead, and you see it happen, and then this room of the church is there, warlords are there, everyone's there surrounding, going, "What the fuck do we do?" Like, talk about just like immediately being like, "Fuck, I'm in." And because it's also the thing of the way that we get to perceive the story of seeing it happen. Like, we know who it is, but the immediate questions that follow it after, like, who did what, is so good. And I did not expect I played Persona 5 opening, and holy shit, what an opening that is. Another honorable mention. But like, goddamn, for me, the intrigue aspect of it is so good in Metaphor. It was my odd man out, and I like, part of me kind of wishes I picked it over Portal 2 even.
Do you have any other honorable mentions? Oh, okay. Do you want to list off a couple of them?
Hi-Fi Rush. With the second you get shot up and the whole arm sequence happens. Yeah. It's gorgeous. And like the art style, the first time you see the world all going to the beat, brilliant. Death Stranding.
Oh, please.
So good.
That one. Yeah.
So fucking good. Spider-Man 2, the suit up scene is like maybe the best suit up,
and you have to include the whole sequence.
Yeah. It might be the best suit up in superheroes. Like, the music starts kicking, it's both of them. Oh my fucking god, it's brilliant. And I did have Mass Effect 2 on my list, by the way. Good call out there. And that was it for me.
I have Metal Gear Solid 2. I think flipping onto the carrier is so fucking cool, or whatever. Or like jumping onto it and then like the shocks or whatever as the stealth camo like breaks down or whatever.
Dude,
so
can we just I need to beat Metal Gear Solid 5. I need to find time to play Metal Gear Solid 5. I want all I want to do is play more Kojima games. That's all I want in my life. If I had 2 days to just only beat Death Stranding and Metal Gear, come on.
Metal Gear Solid 5 is potentially better than when it comes to the opening.
Yeah,
better than all of them. Like, I think the opening might be the best part of the entire game.
I think that Metal Gear Solid 3's opening is not only iconic, but it like every single line in that opening is iconic. Like, every single piece of dialogue is word for word. When we're listening to the Xbox showcase for 2024 and they just basically play through the entire opening sequence, I remember, you know, when you get goosebumps and then they sort of go away after a minute? I had goosebumps and they were not going away for like 2.5 minutes. Like, it is so epic and so cool and just built different. So I'm excited to play 5.
I have Breath of the Wild.
Oh yeah, and Breath and Tears both have. Pick your favorites, Ordeal.
I think Tears really kind of locks in once you're flying down to like the mainland.
Yeah, I would say that
with Tears you're running out into the main world, and then you like look over at like the church, and you're supposed to go over there, and then you're on the Great Plateau for a while. I even think that whole sequence of like kind of learning the flow of the game and being like, okay, like you can't go to like the cold areas without certain armor on or whatever, and stuff like that. And like,
I did it anyways.
You're doing puzzles like in the actual like world or whatever environment before you're going into the shrines, and you're learning the different mechanics in the shrines. I think that's all really cool and really good. Doom 2016.
Oh,
fucking push that computer to the side. We aren't doing this story crap. We're going to shoot some demons, dude. And that's what you do. You rip and tear. You're going straight forward. And that's what Doom 2016 is. It's all packaged into that moment.
Connor, I've woken up every single day since going and demoing the Dark Ages, and I've just wanted it. I want it. I want it so bad. This is, I don't think I mentioned it on the podcast. I did play some Eternal before going through that. I'd be in 2016, but I hadn't played Eternal. I was like, I want to go and see what the difference is and get to that. And so I played a good chunk of Eternal before. And I'm just like, I don't even want to play even more Eternal. I want to play the Dark Ages. Like, I just want those fucking parries, dude. Oh my god, I cannot wait for that game. But Doom 2016's opening, just the is so good.
But that's what makes me nervous about Doom: The Dark Ages when it comes to the inclusion of the story. It's like, I don't need that shit. I want to just shoot
here's the
demons.
Thing. I didn't mention it in the preview. The story aspects of it are like, it's just trying to make the Doomslayer seem even more badass in the same way that ripping aside the thing makes him feel badass. So
yeah,
I'm excited to see where that goes. I'm very curious to see narratively what they do with it. I hope that the narrative is so stupidly basic and it's all about him just being badass that like it provides what I actually want from Doom, is just feeling like the ultimate badass.
Last one I have is Resident Evil 4. Just being in the village for like the first time, just getting chased around by the chainsaw guy and everything, and just surviving.
Go bingo. That cut is it is.
Being like, what the fuck am I even supposed to do here?
But also the intrigue of when the bell hits and like everyone stops chasing you and everything is just like,
what's going on?
Yeah, the question's so good. All right, Patreon names.
Yes, this show is made possible by our lovely, dearly beloved members over on patreon.com/coop64, COOP64. Members like Apathetic Titan,
JC Falcon Call,
Frozen Crushes,
Jaxie T,
Sconzi,
Cherry Sentry,
DQ Lonzer,
Gamers Glade,
Tyler D,
Scooterman,
Dinkelberg Rules,
Centuro,
Hook'em Horns,
Go Nash,
Neutral Sphere,
Charlie W,
Easton C,
Stooby Dooby Doo, Stooby Dooby Doo,
Nuke This Kingdom,
Crispy,
DJ Zach B,
JC,
Uli,
Jacob D,
Big Mac,
Mel Nate,
The Patty Cake,
Bear Pog,
Yogi,
Down,
Holden M,
Conti,
Brock,
Voodoo,
Dr. Pookie Bear,
Alex W,
Andrew H,
Master Diz,
Jesse F,
just for X1 Skirt,
Presto,
Maverick,
Goops,
JMatt B3,
Ali Benally,
Michael,
and Vorpal Matt. Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Casual Gaming Conversation. We will see you on the next one. Peace out.